My son, I know you've come to this point because something inside you is calling you, it is directing you, and this is not a coincidence. It is not a coincidence that you are here right now. Something far bigger than you has brought you here. This video and today, you will discover why today, Archangel Michael is one of the most powerful and kind beings you will ever encounter, has something very essential to tell you, and this message is not for Michael, is here to expose what is best for you, your heart, and your soul. Something that will transform your life, but ready your heart, because the message you will hear will touch the deepest part of your existence. Words that will trigger in you an emotion that you may not have realized you had. Yes, my son, you may cry a lot, but they will be screams of liberation, calls for healing and purification, because there is something inside you that needs to come out and is simply keeping you back. With this message, you will be able to let go of what is to come. It is a moment of great revelation, but do not worry, you are not alone on this path. I am with you. Archangel Michael hears every word and prayer you say. Will here is to help you recover so that you can find peace in your soul, and I tell you now, my son, to stay until the end, because what awaits you at the end this film is a prize that you cannot even understand. It's something that your heart have been looking for, anything that will give you the strength to move forward. With renewed hope and faith, close your eyes, open your heart, and allow these words to reach the innermost part of your being, because today everything can change. Write in the comments 33:3, my son, pay close attention, because what I'm about to tell you is crucial. Today, you did not come here by chance, and what you're hearing is not an accident. I've sent you here because I need you to pay attention. Archangel Michael, my brave warrior, has a vital message for you. He has been fighting conflicts that cannot even see that he has been fighting wars in the spiritual world to safeguard, to protect you from all that the enemy has attempted to use against you. However, now, his message is more than just one of safety. It is warning, son, there are indicators all around you, but you often do not perceive them. Because you are distracted by the worries of life with fear. You're so busy trying to figure everything out on your own, that you don't comprehend that I've already dispatched help. I've sent you folks with whom I've spoken in dreams. Words of encouragement I've placed in your heart, that restlessness that you can't explain, but you keep doubting, wondering if I'm truly here to listen. I've always been here, son, so do not hesitate any longer if you feel that something inside you is changing. There is a war in your mind, that hopelessness wants to capture you, and it's because the enemy has attempted to prevent the blessing that I have for you. But he will be unable to do so, because the heavenly army fights for you, because Archangel Michael is on your side. Come to tell you that you can't give up now that the load appears. Even if the path is uncertain, I'm bearing a tremendous burden with you. I have already prepared it, but you need to open your eyes and perceive the sign. What is that sign? The tranquility you experience when you pray. The strength you sensation when everything seems to fall apart, yet you keep going. The voice, my voice, is the one in your heart that reminds you not to be scared and to keep trusting. Son, that's assurance that you're not alone. So today I tell you to open your spiritual eyes, do not dismiss what Archangel Michael wants to show you. Do not overlook the signs that I am sending in your path. It is time to get up. Time to believe. It is time to move forward with faith. WR in the comments. With God, I am never alone, because I want these words to be etched in your my son. I know how many times you've sobbed in silence. How many evenings have you felt your heart breaking into 1,000 pieces, and how many times have you tried to cover your pain from others? But listen carefully, because today I want you to grasp something. Every time your soul moaned, none of your tears were wasted. Silent, I have been there every time you felt alone and without the strength to. I've been at your side and counted every tear you've wept. That the world has persuaded you that crying is a sign of weakness and that you must be strong enough to not let others notice your pain. But son, listen well, there is no mending without tears. Restoration without a heart that surrenders to me and releases what is carrying so much. Tears are not a sign of defeat. They are the purification of your soul, the releasing of all that you have kept inside and that you need to let go of when you cry in my presence and give me that weight that you have carried for so long. I make you I want you to know that you won't be the same person you were today. Truthfully, you are not crying alone, and I am holding your tears as they fall. While you feel like everything around you is falling, I am lifting. Do not dismiss what you are feeling right now, because this cry is more than just anguish. Healing son, I know that you have gone through moments that no one else would. Recognize that you have been hurt, betrayed, that there are memories that continue to weigh on your heart. Today, I tell you to leave it in my hands and let me heal those wounds. Let me be your refuge. You don't have to pretend to be fine while it genuinely hurts you. You don't have to hide your tears, since I am your father. I am here to hold you. If you knew everything I am preparing for you, if you know that this scream is only the beginning, complete restoration, you would know that this is not the conclusion, but the beginning of something fresh. Therefore don't be frightened to cry, because every tear you drop in my presence will nourish the seed of blessing that I have planted in your life today. Begin your healing. Write in the comments, God is healing my heart, because I want this fact to be ingrained in your soul, my son. I've seen you. Every struggle that you have waged, every night in which you have felt alone, when you felt like giving up, I saw how you tried. You continued forward even when you felt you couldn't take it. Because I know how many times you have prayed with tears in your eyes, requesting me to do anything that will change the circumstance and assist you get out of this never-ending process. And son, listen to me well. I have heard every word you in prayer. None of your petitions have been left in the air. Heaven has not overlooked your screams. Voice, I know that my answer appears late, but I know that in your heart you have asked yourself if I am actually listening or if I really care about your concerns. But I want you to remember something my silence never implies. Absence, when it appears that I am not working, is when I am closest. It is when I am working the hardest on what you cannot see today that I want you to receive this. Truthfully, heaven is answering your prayers for what you have asked for. Waited for something you thought would never come, it is already moving in spiritually. there are things that change doors and open chains that are breaking in your favor. You believe you have been fighting alone, but not while you have been praying, my angels. I've been fighting for you and preparing while you've been waiting. The way nothing you have gone through has been in vain, every tear, every attempt, every time you decided to trust me, despite the suffering, everything has. Do not question any longer, my son, that you are a part of a higher mission. Tells you that the answer is on its way. When it arrives, you will comprehend that. My timing is ideal because I've never left you and have always been working. Even when you couldn't see it, lift your head because your fight hasn't been in vain, and what awaits you is more larger than all you have lost. Write in the comments, I get. God is working in my life through this word because I want to seal this promise in your heart. My kid, I understand how you feel. I know there are times when the weight of existence appears oppressive. There are days when you get up with no strength or desire to proceed. Hey, I understand there are things that have taken your peace and attempt to extinguish your faith. I have seen your thoughts while you think. There is no way out, but today I will tell you I want you to hold this in the deepest part of your when it appears that everything is lost. I am going to do something great in your life. You see the problem, but I see you see the anguish, but I see the healing that is coming. Scarcity, but I see the abundance I am preparing. Son, you only see what is in front of you, but I see the complete picture. I promise you that what is coming is more larger than you have imagined. I understand you've had disappointments and lost things and people who were important to you. But hear this, nothing you've lost can compare with what I am going to give you. I am not a God who will abandon you in defeat. The God who transforms sorrow into victory, tears into joy, and hopelessness into a fresh beginning. If you feel like you've hit rock bottom and there's no more options and that you no longer have the strength to continue fighting, but only when the human being reaches the end of himself, my splendor manifests itself with more. Look back, son, and consider how many times you believed you couldn't overcome anything, and here you are. You passed the test and went through you survived the storm without drowning because I've always been there for you, guiding you, and taking you where you need to go. So today I tell you it's not the end, is a fresh beginning. It is not a defeat, but a preparation. Is not the time to give up. It is time to lift your head and strengthen your faith and think that the best is yet to come. Listen carefully to everything you have. Even the most painful events are paving the way for a blessing that you cannot conceive. Post in the comments, Lord, I trust that the greatest is yet to come, and I want these words to be inscribed in your heart. Listen carefully, my son, for what I'm about to tell you now could alter your life. I realize that right now you feel fatigued, bewildered, and possibly frustrated. Struggling without seeing results despite having done everything imaginable, and still, things do not happen as you expect. Have you asked God why? So much agony. Why is this exam so hard? The enemy wants you to think that this test is the end, but I assure you that it is merely the beginning of something excellent. Listen carefully. Before every big blessing there will be a huge challenge before the win. Battle. Before you see the miracle, your faith will be tested because the blessing that I have for you is not tiny, and what I am planning demands that your faith be strengthened. The enemy wants to discourage you. He wants you to believe that you are not strong enough and that you will never be able to escape this process. But what he doesn't want you to know is that the test indicates that if you are going through intense fire, it means that something major is cooking in heaven. Have a look at my words and the stories of my children before you. Moses had to pass through the desert before sighting the promised land. Joseph. David had been deceived and imprisoned before arriving at the palace. Goliath before becoming king. What does this entail for those tests? Not intended to kill you, but to prepare you. I do not allow you to go through something you cannot resist, and if you suddenly feel that all it is challenging because the blessing that is coming is larger than you. Imagine, son, that you are never alone and will never be alone because I depart. Before you open the path, knock down obstacles and break chains, elevate your head, since the war has already begun. Winner, and you put in the comments fight for me, his army is with. I want this truth to be inscribed in your heart. My son, there is a struggle being fought right now, even if eyes cannot see it. It is a conflict that is not waged with swords or weapons. I want you to understand something about the spiritual world. You are not alone. Conflict since the day you were born, the adversary intended to steal from you, ruin you and make you believe that you have no worth and that there is no. He has attempted to instill fear in you, uncertainties in your heart, and make you think that you will never get out of this struggle. But listen to me carefully. The enemy has already been defeated. Remember what I did on the cross there. Is your victory there? Darkness breaks over you. Life there, I determined that the adversary would not have the final say over you. Have already won this fight, son. The adversary is crafty and does not want you to discover the truth. He wants you to believe that he still has influence over you. Believe his strikes can harm you, but the reality is that he only has power when you let him know that he wants you to give up, to stop praying. Believe, but I want you to remember something. In every battle that I have already battled for you, and angels are battling on your behalf, right? There is now a conflict in the heavens, but you should not be afraid. Because my army is greater, stronger, and triumph is already rest certain that what the enemy has used to bring you down, I will use to hoist you up. Try to destroy you, I will turn into your greatest testimonial. Son, you do not fight this war alone. I am your refuge and shield. When you feel weak, seek refuge in me. When you are terrified, invoke my name. Because I fight for you and have never lost a war, thus today I advise you, don't give up, don't believe the enemy's falsehoods, no matter how powerful the storm. It appears that the sky has already declared your victory. Write in the comments, God has this battle has already been won for me, because I want this truth to be cemented in your today. My son, I want to talk to you about two silent foes who have tried to stop your purpose. Worry and doubt. I know how many times you felt paralyzed with a restless heart and thoughts of what if things do not go smoothly, what if I am not enough, what if God does not listen to me. But listen well, Son, fear and doubt are the enemy's traps so that you do not advance. They are invisible chains that want to stop you right when you are about to accept what I have for you from the beginning. The enemy has utilized fear to keep my children from their destiny, as he did with Adam and Eve when they sought to hide from me. When Moses told him he wasn't good enough to lead, he did it with Peter. He walked on the sea, making him doubt and sink, and now he's trying with you. Here's what the opponent doesn't want you to learn when you go in. Faith, fear, and uncertainty lose their influence over you when Peter kept his gaze on me and walked on the sea, but when he stared at the storm and doubted, he began to sink. You see, the problem is not the storm, but where you direct your sight, son. When you look at the situation and the conditions, you will sense fear. You will question, but if you look at me, you will walk on. The opponent understands that if you stop worrying and start believing nothing can stop you if, instead of doubting, you trust yourself. See miracles in your life today, and I want you to rise in faith. You chose to trust even if you don't comprehend everything. Say, Lord, I don't see the way out, but know that you have it, son, when fear tries to communicate to you. When doubt tries to make you fall, counter it with my word. I am with you. I am your rock and your refuge, so don't stop now, don't let fear immobilize you, for what I have for you is fantastic. If you walk with faith, the enemy will not be able to impede it. Write in the comments, Lord, I trust in you rather than my fear, because I want this truth to be locked in your heart. My son, I want you to know something I have always wanted you to grasp in the depths of your being is that you are not alone no matter what. You are living, regardless of how you feel right now, and my protection is with you. I have positioned a protector at your side, a powerful being that is not afraid and knows no defeat. His name is Michael. Today, the Archangel who oversees my angelic hosts wants you to know that he is with you fighting in your favor. Many believe that angels are merely distant figure stories are made to console the heart, but what you don't know is when Archangel Michael is present, he is not simply a powerful creature but also a warrior who battles for you. He has been appointed to protect you and guard your life, your goal, and make sure that the enemy cannot prevail. You recall that in the book of Daniel, Michael was sent to defend my servant. When the enemy attempted to stop him, Michael fought for him, and triumph was. I'm sure you've questioned yourself many times, God, why don't answer me, why I am not hearing your voice as previously, but what you don't know, my son, is that my quiet is not absence, but rather an act of preparation. I am preparing you for something much bigger than you can fathom. There are times when my response does not come instantly since I am working in the background and I cannot see, but I am preparing the ground by removing the stones that could have you stumble, opening doors that you don't even know exist. Remember my servant Joseph? Spent years in prison waiting for my response, suffering for things he didn't understand, but my quiet throughout his life was not abandonment. When his time arrived, I raised him to an honorable position that I would never have anticipated the same thing happening to you. You may not understand why things aren't happening on your time, but I'm working in silence, shifting components, and modifying. situations and preparing the ground so that nothing happens when the door opens. No one can seal it. God's silence is not punishment, son, is not a sign that I do not listen to you, but I'm guiding you through a process that will make you stronger, wiser, and better prepared for what is ahead. This is a time of absolute trust me. I want you to understand that my time is not your time, and what I am accomplishing in your life, even if you don't see it, is much bigger than you can imagine. The farmer patiently waiting for the seed to grow underground before seeing the fruits. I'm also weaving into you, nurturing and strengthening your roots so that you can resist any storm. So when you believe that my voice has, when you believe that everything is still, remember that in my silence, I am working in the deepest depths of your being, preparing the blessing would make your soul sing of joy. Write in the comments, I believe in God's timing because I know He is preparing something great for me, because I want this truth to be inscribed in your heart and in my kid. I know you have cried many times in silence. I know there is a great grief in your heart. Weights that are difficult to carry. You have endured moments of sorrow that seem eternal, and occasionally you could wonder if your tears have any purpose. But today I want you to comprehend a profound, beautiful truth. The tears you cry today are watering the wonder that you will receive tomorrow. I understand that it is not easy, son. I've seen all of your tears every time you've suffered. If you've ever felt like you couldn't take it anymore, I understand. Your heart is broken, everything appears lost, and despair overcomes you, but I want you to know that I am close to those who cry, and that every tear you have shed has not gone unnoticed. Remember the widow who cried on the road? Jesus observed her tears, and in that what appeared to be a tragedy turned into an opportunity, for I will never allow my children to suffer without my love accompanying them. Every tear you've wept is a testament to your faith. Your resistance to trusting that I would heal you, restore you, and will bless you, son. Sometimes hardship is essential for your soul to shed tears. Are a mirror of your wounded heart, but they are also a symbol of your surrender in your pursuit for my understanding that, notwithstanding the circumstances difficult, you still believe that I am with you. It is not the tears defines your life, and what you do with that sorrow determines your future. My son, I understand how you've been feeling. In the deepest part of your heart, I know you have prayed, that you waited because you trusted, but there are times when you ask, why doesn't the solution come? Why does everything appear to take so long? I want you to realize something very vital. I am never lately, my time is not like yours, but it appears that everything is. Stagnate when you feel that the clock is still moving forward and your situation does not change. I am working behind the scenes to prepare the way for all to come. Do you recall the story of Lazarus? He was dead when I arrived. It appeared too late, but I knew what I was doing. My arrival was not late, it was at the ideal time, so that everyone might see my glory. The same thing happens to you, when everything appears to be lost and you believe there is no hope. I am currently prepared for what you have been doing. Waiting for my arrival is not an issue of human time, but of divine purpose. What you are waiting for is already on its way. Sometimes the solutions do not come when we expect them, because I am working on something much larger than you can see. I'm not only preparing the blessing, but also preparing your heart to receive it. I'm aligning all the pieces so that when the time comes, do not think that I have everything under control. Do not believe that your prayer has not been heard, because you have. Even if your eyes don't see it, everything you've asked for is already on its way. Not see it yet, even if your ears do not hear it. I want you to trust me. Never forget that I am not a God who is bound by time. For me, one day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. Life is measured not by the world's clocks, but by the perfection of my love and my plan for you. So when you feel you've run out of strength, when you think you can't wait any longer, I want you to focus on me and believe in my timing. Because I know what's best for you. I know when the right time is to bless you, to heal yourself and open the door. That you've been waiting for. What you're waiting for is already on its way, and you'll get it. And I'm never late, and I always arrive when it's needed, so trust me. I trust in God's perfect timing. Write in the comments. What I'm waiting for is already on its way, and I want this reality to be firmly inscribed in your heart. Let us pray now. Lord, I come before you knowing that there is nothing hidden from your view. I know that you have seen my struggles, tears, and deep anguish, and today, my heart comes to surrender all before your altar, for I know that you are with me even in moments of stillness. I want to thank you, Lord, for the times that you have kept my life for. The times you have showed me your protection, even if I don't always understand it. Thank you for Archangel Michael, who has fought on my behalf, sometimes without my seeing him, but always feeling him by my side. His sword, thank you for your heavenly army that does not sleep. Repose fights my battles in the invisible and gives me power to move forward even when I feel like I can't take it anymore. I ask you, Lord, to give me the grace to believe in your perfect timing, because I know your solution is coming. I ask that when I am tempted to doubt or give up, you remind my tears are not in vain, because each of them waters the wonder that you are preparing for me today, and I opted to rest on your promise. Knowing that in my pain you are working, in each of the moments of suffering you have not been missing, but you have been preparing my heart. Opening doors, removing hurdles, and spreading hope where I previously saw desolation. Today, I ask your forgiveness for the times that I have felt that you have forgiven me, for the times I questioned your silent Lord. I know that when I don't hear your voice, you have not abandoned me. You are attempting to lay the groundwork for the miracle to grow in your. Thank you for always arriving on time. I need you the most, and thank you for organizing everything for my good, even though I can't always see or understand. See or grasp what you're doing, beloved Father, and help me walk in trust. Let me not let fear or uncertainty drive me to my knees. I want to look towards. May my eyes always be on you, Lord, rather than the issues I face. Be fixated on you, and may my faith be bigger than any fear today. I reject the traps of fear, I reject the voices of doubt, and I declare that with your aid and your strength, I am more than a father. Thank you for the love you pour on me and for the blessings that come today. With all my being, I affirm that the tears I've wept are watering the miracle that will come. I know that the suffering is not in hope, that all I have lived, you used to prepare something great. Thank you, Lord, for hearing me, for loving me, and for never leaving me alone, for being the refuge to which I run when everything falls apart around me. I appreciate you for the silence that I occasionally feel, because I know you're preparing something great in every moment of uncertainty. I have faith in your hand, which has never let go of me today. Think that what I want is already on its way. Thank you, Lord, for the perfect timing of your divine plan. Always greater than any plan I could have envisioned. I thank you for every moment of waiting, because I know that in that time you are molding me and making me stronger. And when the time comes, I'll behold your majesty. Intervention. I want you to continue trusting my kid, regardless of the eyes of the world tell you my plans for you are good, not evil. What you are waiting for what you've paid so much to believe is going to arrive. It is already on its way, regardless of how arduous the road has been. Come is so amazing that you cannot even picture it, but you will get it. Because I promised it. Now my son will moving forward with faith when everything around you suggests there is no hope. Remember that my word never fails. My angels will not desert you, and Archangel Michael is by your side. Battling for you in the sky. I guard you, keep you, and will always be with you at all moments, so trust in the exact timing that I have for you. Waiting is not in vain. What you are waiting for is much more than your eyes can see. Everything you've experienced and faced prepares you to accept. Today, I want you to live with that gift and a grateful heart. I hope and believe that your miracle is already being developed and that your prayers are answered, and that my quiet is not absence but preparation for something much greater. Everything is happening for your good. Keep going with trust, for what is to come is much better than what you have left behind, and I love you profoundly, my son. Amen, my son. I want you to know that I will never leave your side. This moment, the gifts that you seek are on their way, and you have received in this film is more than just words. It is a profound truth that will change your life. I invite you to continue trusting, because all we have discussed today is only the beginning of something. Keep in mind that God's timing is flawless. And even if although you may not see the answer right away, your faith and trust in Him will grow. Today, I'd like to pose you a question. If this message has touched your heart, share it with those who need it the most. Make this word of hope reach more people, because we never know how much if this film has blessed you, it may have an impact on someone who is in agony. Please like it so that the YouTube algorithm can spread this message to many more people. If you have not yet subscribed, I invite you to subscribe and join this. Do not forget about our prayer community, where we continue to grow in faith. Click on the bell to not miss the following messages and prayers that we have prepared for you. And I encourage you to watch the film that will appear on the screen. I am convinced that every word you hear would help you move on with more strength. You are not alone. God is with you in every state. May the peace of God be with you. Always. See you soon.